Hi, I am Elena Puntaroli, an inspirational author, and I have published several books on happiness, life purpose, and relationships, also with my husband Lorenzo Sbrinci here at Cascate di Luce, Cascades of Light. And today I am very excited to present you something that is very close to our hearts: education of light, an innovative and creative solar educational paradigm inspired by the amazing and beautiful teachings of Abraham-Hicks, which actually inspired all our books, and quantum physics and shine your light, which is our vision and method. So it's a special combination that is dedicated to innovative teachers, leading edge educators, coaches, and parents who really want to step into a new possibility for their kids or students, and really seeing them as the leading edge of what we are living, infinite possibilities, and want to really encourage them to shape their reality with their heart's desires, actually. So reminding them how to tap into their inner being, into their light, actually, that is love, joy, and freedom, to really understand who they really are and why are they here and what they can be to really feel joyful and fulfilled. So it's the education of the new age of light that we are living, to me, because actually is the education that I wanted as a child, but I didn't get. So this is my gift for the new kids that are coming, the new students that are eager to know more and to discover more. Education of Light, it's a lab of experimentation and research of knowledge, which so becomes not a static knowledge like the knowledge that I have studied at school, for example, but a dynamic knowledge because it is felt, lived, and applied through a new language that we have created, and that is called the spiral soul, and that I'm going to explain in a further video. It's very similar. It's actually co-creation in action. So it's very similar to what happens at the theater, for example, when we really feel the emotions and really feel the body and use the emotions, the voice and the body to really embody the knowledge, in this case, what we feel, and so that the books that we read, they are not just written words, but the words become alive, and so we can really tune in a new way of vibrating with any subject, because there is like Abraham said, there is no, any subject is welcome, there is no limit, and because education of light is education of life ultimately, and so everything that can be useful in this life can be object of study, research, and experimentation. The main principle is, of course, ask, and this is given, applied to education. So it's very exciting because it really shapes the relationship between students and teachers and parents as well. So it gives a complete new light on this educational paradigm, because the curriculum is co-created according to the child's desires, because we have to really help each and every kid to really flourish. And in order to do this, we need to tap into their heart's desires. And so to really listen to what excites them and what really enlighten them. And so ask and it is given is actually co-creation in action between students, teachers, and parents. And of course, we have already a book on this. It's in Italian, Educazione di Luce, Education of Light, a creative vision for a school inspired by heart's desires. And hopefully one day it will be also in English. And the rainbow is actually also our logo of Cascades of Light. And there is a rainbow here with a sun with a heart inside. So we use we love actually the metaphors and the symbols, especially the colorful ones, because the rainbow is a symbol of colors and so of life, as well as the sun. The sun is the symbol of the source, so the light within is also outside of us, and there is a heart, so it's the symbol of the inner being and the non-physical part of us that is here with us and is guiding our life actually. And this book, and so Education of Light, is made of 8 chapters, colors, because we have created each chapter with a color, starting with red. So red through purple, violet, and the 8th chapter is actually white. That is the white that comprehend all the colors. And so we like to use these metaphors, and I'm going to make one video for each chapter. So I'm going to make another 8 videos to give you an overview of this in a little bit more detail actually. Why I have created Education of Light? Well, there are 2 reasons. From a personality perspective, I have struggled as a child, especially in primary school, also in middle school. While I had a very amazing experience in high school, I studied art and I really felt I could express myself there. But in primary school, there has been an episode with a teacher where I wrote something that probably in an essay I probably wasn't maybe allowed to write that, but it was what I was feeling. And the teacher got really angry at me, and she read what I wrote in front of the class, and for me was hard, was very tough. I really started to shut down from there, and I didn't know how to tell it to my parents because I really felt ashamed and judged for expressing my feelings. Actually, she was my favorite teacher as well, and I am very appreciative of that situation, what happened there, because that was when I probably started to launch my very first rockets of desire for a different education, where I could really feel safe expressing my feelings and who I really am. So Education of Light started many years ago, actually a few decades ago. And so it's part of Education of Light. It's also recognizing the contrast and using it to really go forward, to really expand our life and not get limited or traumatized by what happened. This is actually a perfect example, because I could really shut down from that and decide I don't want to study, I don't want to have anything to do with education, but actually what happened was exactly the opposite, because I felt this call towards education all of my life since then, and I allowed it to call me, and this is why I'm here today talking about education of light, and it's really one of the greatest blessings in my life. So it's so important to give a different perspective to students, teachers, and parents, where any kind of contrast can really become a blessing if we allow ourselves to expand and to integrate that. So this is one of the teachings. The other reason why I wanted to conclude, I wanted to give kids an education that was in my heart. So a very expressive, creative, and colorful and joyful. And because I studied, actually, I'm a psychologist, so I studied a lot. And after that episode in primary school, but I always studied most of the time out of a sense of obligation and not pleasure. And I always wondered, why cannot we learn because we want to learn something, because we are eager and we really want to tap more into a subject, and instead we have a curriculum that we have to go through, even though something is not really aligned to our deepest aspirations. And so this is the first reason. The other reason is from a soul perspective. I am Starseed from Mintaka. If you are not familiar with Mintaka, it's a star in the Orion constellation and is the rightmost star of the Orion's belt. It has been a big breakthrough to discover my origin, because it really made sense and helped me to connect dots that were not connected yet. And I realized why I have always worked to create a paradise here on Earth. Because if you know Mintaka, it was, well, it seems it's not more inhabitable. There is just a light, the planet is no longer there. However, I like to talk about it in the present tense, because it's still very alive within my memory. And it's covered with crystal clear water, shallow waters. There is unconditional love, very high vibration. People didn't need to work in the sense that we are used to here on Earth, because we used to exchange our talents to create something and to support each other. There is plenty of abundance and a lot of things growing, and so a truly a true paradise to me. And I feel very much within my inner being that I am here to co-create that paradise again. In this case, in education of light, though I apply it to every aspect of my life. I like to make the house where I live a sanctuary. And yeah, if you are from Intaha, you know that we have a strong longing for home, and that has been interesting to know as well. And so having recognized myself as a very sensitive soul, and Yeah, I have struggled here on earth, and I think that struggles because it really helped me to understand who I really am and why I'm here and what I can bring here that is not present yet. And so my desires comes also to really allow a new innovative, creative, expressive education for the star seeds, for the most sensitive souls that maybe do not recognize themselves in the traditional educational system, and they are looking for alternatives to really match their heart's desires. So this is the other reason why I have created Education of Light. We have also designed the Palloncino series for kids, while Education of Light is for adults, of course. We have applied the same principles to empower kids. This is the arrival of Palloncino, and it's the only book we have in English, and we are looking for a publisher to publish also the rest of the series, where we are going to tap into the art of allowing, the non-physical, and so how to live this dimension, the appreciation and the expression of joy, and how to Palloncino can recognize his emotional guidance system, which we have called Compass, because he is hot air balloon. Actually, it's a family of hot air balloon, and this first episode, it's actually a very simple metaphor to remember us that when we have a desire, and father balloon and mother balloon, they had a desire. Actually, they live in the Garden of Wonders. It's a beautiful, magnificent and magical place where wonderful things happen. And one night they have the same dream. So they are so turned up down, like that they dream the same. They dream that they like to have a child, Palloncino. And so they share their dream the following days, and then they decide to remain in this feeling of appreciation, love, and joy that this dream gave them. And they start to a journey. They decide to go to the sun, which is the source of everything, and actually the source of love. So that's why we have little hearts. I am the designer, and my husband Lorenzo is the writer of the book. So we have teamed together. The sun says, yes, your wish is fulfilled already. So they have asked, and they have already received in the vibrational vortex their desire. So they keep up their high vibration of happiness and joy. They return to the Garden of Wonder, and then the sun send a beam of light delivering Palloncino to them. And they welcome Palloncino by reminding him that he is a being of light, he is made of light, and that his essence is love, joy, and freedom. And this is how we would like to welcome every child that comes here on earth in the same loving way. And so this is the first episode of a long series of Palloncino. And so we have been thinking about the kids and not just the educators and the adults. And by the way, Education of Light is not just for kids. We refer to kids for simplicity, but actually we also wrote here that education from our perspective is at all age, because education of flight is education of life. And so whenever there is a desire to learn, to have something more, there is education, because we are infinite being and we are here to experience an amazing earthy experience. And so there is no age limit to us. And I am a psychologist as well, as I said, and I've gathered quite a long experience in my private practice with kids, adolescents, and adults, as well as working in schools with several projects. And so if you are interested in implementing this model of education, of course, I'm available for training, supervision, or consultations, whether online or in person. If I can reach you, I'm actually on my way to move to Australia. And if you feel such a resonance with this education of light, and you have the expertise, the talents that you want to contribute and co-create this together, please reach me and we can talk about it, because I am here mainly to do this. I really feel it very strongly in my being, more than ever. And so I'm going to publish the following 8 videos soon, and if you want to get notified when they are out, you can subscribe to our channel, Cascate di Luce channel. And also, if you like, you can sign up to cascatediluce.com. It's our website. When you sign up, you receive a beautiful video series, Shine Your Light, where we outline our method. So it's very informative, practical, and very joyous and fun. So you are very welcome, if you want to be in contact and stay in touch, to sign up to our newsletter as well. And I'll see you soon for the... Actually, no, I want to give you before an overview of the several chapters. So the first is, and then I will go into more detail over the next videos. The first chapter is color red, and it says, the meaning of education is joy. And what I said, we cannot learn something meaningful if we learn it out of joy, out of interest. And so let's be in joy, whether we are the educators and if we are the receiver of the education as well. Let's keep up our joy in this. By the way, I will explain exactly in this red color chapter that education is, as you probably have understood already, is not imposed, but actually is the opposite, because education comes from the Latin educere, which means carry out, bring out what is inside. And so this is exactly what we are going to do. We want you to shine your light. So this is the meaning of education, the real meaning of education. The second chapter is color orange. Everything is vibration, embracing a larger perspective. So here we are going to introduce the Abraham perspective, and so how everything is vibration and how this perspective can enhance and empower the relationship between students, parents, and teachers. The third chapter is yellow, co-creating a leading-edge school. So we are going to give the main ingredients to co-create an innovative school that is aligned to the inner being. The 4 is green, the spiral model for an infinite education. This is the spiral soul language that I've been talking earlier, and that is actually co-creation in action, dynamic knowledge, and we are going to explain how to put it into practice to really live in a vibrant laboratory of education and leaving behind a static education, because we are vibrant beings, and so the education has to reflect who we really are. The 5th is blue, creativity and imagination. Actually, the essential tools to co-create the reality of our dreams. So we are going to say how important is to study also the past things, but if they have a reference, something that is important in the here and now, because otherwise it's so much more fun and interesting to co-create something new, so to co-create with our imagination and creativity the here and now and our future. The 6th is indigo, in search of inspiration and intuition. When you initiate something, it's very important, because it means that you feel something and you allow yourself also to receive something. So the importance of taking initiative, being intuitive, thanks to that, and very aligned to your inspiration. The 6th is purple, educating to dream, or how to mold the substance that generates life as masters and artists that we truly are. The 8th is white, so it comprehends the whole, and it couldn't be different than educating to freedom, because really the freedom is at the basis of everything, of our life, of our being, and is our highest responsibility as well. So freedom is ultimately a choice. And if we want to choose freedom, we really need to know ourselves deeply, because it's not something that we take light-hearted, because it's our probably highest capacity of molding and shaping our life. If we have the freedom to choose and then choose and choose and choose again, then we shape our life. So it's really, really essential and vital. So thanks for your time. It has been a pleasure to share the introduction of Education of Light with you. And we'll dive deeper into each chapter color over the next videos. Thank you very much. Bye.